Okay, so now for another topic, codomains. A lot of topics in this section, so that's why this one is so long. F colon A right arrow B. That means we read it F maps A to B. You could say into B, because that's actually what we mean. But usually people just say A to B. All right, so that means the same thing. F maps A into B. A is called the domain, right, of F. And B is called the codomain. You might think, well, wouldn't that be the range? No, the range could be smaller than B. You want to think of it like this. Suppose you have 4 darts, and you're throwing at a dartboard, okay? So you have dart 1, dart 2, dart 3, dart 4. You throw it at the dartboard, and you look at the points that it hits the points that it hits on the dartboard. Those are the range. The actual points those 4 darts hit. The codomain would be the entire target. So the range is some subset of the entire target. Sometimes it's the whole. The range equals B. The range is all of B. In other words, you hit all of B. And then the codomain and the range are the same. But more often, the range is smaller. It's contained in, well, it's smaller than the codomain usually. So I just put a note here just to remind you with a star by it. The codomain is not necessarily the range, although the range is contained in the codomain. This is assuming that you're not such a bad dart player that you miss the board entirely, which I do sometimes. So this is just a diagram of what's going on. You've got your domain of F is like everything in this first orange rectangle here. Then F takes everything in that rectangle inside of B. B is the codomain, somewhere inside of B. And that there is the range. So the range could be smaller. It's possible it's the same as B. In that case, we'd say F is onto, not something you have to memorize right now. But we'd say it's onto B if B equals the range of F. But yeah, so this is the idea. This is why it says into. It maps into B. F maps A into B. So here's an example. H maps Z into Z. Z is the integers, right? So H maps the integers into the integers. And H is the function h of x equals x squared. Can you see how that maps the integers into the integers? So the domain of H for this problem is the integers, because it says so right there. That's what that means. Z, the integers is the domain. So the only numbers I can plug into this for this problem, for this particular H, is the integers. Okay? Negative or positive or 0. The codomain of H is Z, because that's whatever I have written here is the codomain. But what's the range? The range of H is a set of all squares of integers. So 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc., right? 0 squared, 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared. And of course, negative 1 squared is the same as 1 squared. Negative 2 squared is the same as 2 squared, etc. So you get only these numbers. You don't get all of the codomain. So the range is considerably smaller in some sense than the codomain for this one. In the case that range of F equals B, we say F maps A onto B instead of into B. I mentioned that before. That won't be too important. I don't think they'll ask you about that, but that's just in case you've seen this kind of thing before, that might ring a bell for you.